Hey everyone, welcome. Ryan Crandall of FYI for All, standing for Function and Yoga Instruction. And on the yoga side of things, it stands for Functional Yoga Integration, formerly known as 3D Yoga. I want to discuss with you guys weak links. Now lately, the big thing in this industry is to talk about the hip, the ankle, and the thoracic spine. And those are crucial areas. But I want to address some things that are also hitters that need to be addressed, especially for, actually for everyone. Why not? Some of the things that I'd like to talk about today, very briefly, are going to address the feet, they're going to address the knees, oh my gosh, yeah. They're going to address the hands, they're going to address the neck, and the scapular mobility. What I'd like to start with is from the ground up. Now, as we know, we have 33 joints in our foot, including our ankle. We have dozens of muscles. Everything's all interconnected, especially into the nervous system. That little homunculus and the sensory cortex is highly integrated in the brain. The more we pay attention to things, the more we can have a profound effect on our clients. With that, one of the things I've been working on in my yoga classes is to get people to really focus and pay attention to their feet. And of course, these are all anecdotal, but profound differences. What I like to have people focus on, and if you don't mind my bare feet, I'm going to step it up on this bench here. If you look into this mirror to your left, and all I have people focus on is basically just metatarsophalangeal extension of the toes. So I have them focus on lifting and observing the arch in the foot rising, focusing 100%. Lifting, spreading, and lowering. Lifting, spreading, and lowering. And again, taking notice of the fact that as their toes extend, it's going to pull on the plantar aponeurosis, which is your fascia, which is going to pull the heel proximal to the metatarsals. It's going to lift the arch. Okay? Most people don't even know anything about their feet. So let's get them to start to feel those motions, and maybe some of their little plantar fascia pain, some of their Achilles tendonitis type pains might go away. Why? Through movement. Through movement. It's that simple. Moving on upstairs to the ankle joint. I also have been having people focus on not just worried about dorsiflexion, and we know plantar flexion is overrated, we get it for free. Dorsiflexion, yes, but we want to work on just getting some mobility by just doing ankle circles themselves. I have people lay down, and this is not a very good model of an ankle, but just getting the ankle to go into some circles, okay, in both directions. And just, again, to loosen things up, get the clicks, get the pops out. On to the knee. Now, we all know that the knee is a hinge joint, right? No. The knee is not a hinge joint. Again, this is not a perfect anatomical model, obviously, but you can see that this knee has curves in it. Can't you see that? It has curves. So the knee does move in all three planes of motion. Of course, it moves better through the sagittal plane, flexion, extension. But to get your clients, and I'm going to actually stand up on this bench, if you don't mind, and here we go. And I have them just place their hands above their thighs, or above their knees, and just move in this frontal plane into a little valgus, genu valgus, and genu varus. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? And I do this in my yoga classes. And just to have them pay attention to what goes on in their feet as they do this, how their knees feel as they do this. For most people, you're going to find that it doesn't hurt, and it's good for them. Moving on to the transverse plane, I get them to pretend, hey, I got a hula hoop around my knee. Hey, that's cool. And I'm going to just circle. Go in a circular motion in both directions, of course. And again, pay attention to how their knees and their feet respond to the motion from the top down. Okay? Moving on upstairs, we're going to move into the neck. The neck holds a lot of tension. Would you agree? Yes. The neck holds crazy amounts of tension, and most people don't even know that. So what I get people to do is place their hands behind their back and pretend that they're Larry King for a second. Why? Because he's funny? No. Because his posture's horrible. His neck is up here. Does he have any neck? No. So instead of raising up, I have them shrug up first, and then drop the shoulders down as long as they can go, creating a long neck. And if they have a mirror to get that visual feedback, it's muy importante. Okay? So, keeping the neck level, we're just going to draw the cheekbone to the ceiling, ear, shoulder, and have them focus on that. You're going to know a lot of people compensate by just getting a lot of motion in their hips or their shoulders, or they'll shrug up. Have them really focus on actually getting relative side-to-side motion in the neck. And then we go through all the planes. We take it through the circular pattern, rotation. Again, keep awareness on the traps. Pull them down. Relative lengthening. Okay? Now, next, looking up. Feeling the neck in the front all the way up into the clavicle and the sternal area, and then looking down. Working through some fascial lines as well. Now, circle, little spiral. And again, nice and gentle. Have them think someone's gently lifting my head up off my trunk as they circle, as they keep their shoulder blades pulled down. Of course, doing both directions. Moving on next to the forward and backward direction. Again, scapula pulled down into their back pockets. Chin forward, tuck it back. Chin forward, tuck it back. Why? We want them to know, we want them to feel what exaggerated bad posture is so they can know when to pull it back. They're loading to exploding. Okay? The cool one, they could do this one as well if they're into the footloose or the breakdancing stuff. That's a joke. Thank you. Anyways, moving on into some little bit of the extension through the shoulders. Hands again behind the back. Long spine. Allow them to collapse, look like what I call the Forrest Gump look. We do this in yoga. Collapse, feel it, collapse, and then go in the opposite, standing tall. Relax, and stand. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And imagining that the crown of their head is being pulled to the sky as they inhale. So as we inhale, we tend to get a little bit longer, a little taller if we're breathing properly, diaphragmatically. Moving on, another scapular one I like to use is hands behind the back as well, and I call it the chicken wing. So the shoulder blades pull apart, and then we squeeze them back together. Pull apart, squeeze them back together. Protraction, retraction, with both hands separate, or both hands sharing the small of the back, okay? So we flip hands, is what I'm trying to say. Moving on from there is the 4-point scap mobility, is I have them focus on one side at a time, and I have them shrug forward, feeling the stretch through the rhomboids traps, up, back, and down. And we do that a couple times in each direction. Just being aware. It's important to put this into the movement. Awareness through movement, as Feldenkrais did back decades ago. He was way ahead of his time, and we've completely lost it until kind of relatively recently, and even not so much. You know, we're all into this mindless stuff. Let's get back into the mindful movement, and then after time, then we can get into the subconscious stuff, which is important as well. Moving on, into the hands. This is our last thing. We use our hands a lot, but a lot of times we overuse certain things and underuse others. So what I like to focus on is getting full separation through the fingers, and we do this in yoga as part of our breathing warm-up. Stretch it out like you got the E.T. hand, and then close into a tight fist. I mean, death grip. Open, inhaling, wide fingers. Exhale, close. Tight, tight squeeze, hard. Again, open, 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 and then squeeze hard, death grip. Okay? Of course, moving into the wrists themselves, getting some old-fashioned wrist circles going on there. Okay? And you can even go into the ulnar and radial deviation as well. I hope you found this useful. As usual, I love to talk about movement. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Remember to engage the brain. The brain is where it's at. We could talk about the muscles and the fascia all day long, and it's super important to do so, but we gotta layer in the nervous system, the brain, the diaphragm, the breathing, the whole thing. It's all deeper layers of the onion. It all works. Spend some time on it. Let me know how it works. Thank you, Ryan Kravitz, signing up. Bye.